Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Flooded Valley Chimps guide, where we will be using a very, very fun Pat-based strategy with Sun Avatar, Sentry Champion, Super Brittle, and also we're going to be overclocking Pat at the end, which is going to be very funny. First, we have definitely the hardest part of the run, which is this sub spot. It's not super precise, but it can be a little annoying if you haven't done it before. So, what you gotta do, right over here, place it something like this, where the inside of the range border touches this line right here, and the bottom of the range border should just barely not touch the bottom of the screen. It should get pretty close, but it shouldn't quite touch it. And we do also have to place a second sub mid-round most of the time. Here, I don't think I'll have to, but I'll do it anyway, just because. So yeah, place a sub to catch anything that may leak from the top. If there's a blue going up from the sub, it's going to be very hard to place it quick enough, but yeah. After that, we're just going to go straight for Pat. We should be able to get Pat here on round 11. You can place him mid-round 10 as well, but not necessary at all, so I'm not going to. Just place him as bottom left as possible here. For 13, we're going to get a base boat right over here, just as bottom left as possible. Boats tend to work very well on this map because they can shoot out of both sides at once because of this little area right here. Get twin guns for 15, and we're going to get airburst after round 18. Then we're just going to upgrade this guy to intel before round 22. And this guy should be able to just solo for a while. Well, that is until 24, when we have to get submerge and support. Unsubmerge it for 25, because we want it to actually attack, and not just be submerged, decamoing nothing. And because we have pretty much no lead popping in the setup, other than Pat, which is fairly inconsistent, we're going to get Grape Shot on our boat, and then Hot Shot for 28. We're also going to set this guy to Strong, just so that it prioritizes the leads over anything else. And also Roar on 28. Makes the round so much more consistent. And on 30 you don't need to because the leads are more spaced. For 31, just Roar off cooldown. Not entirely necessary, but it is nice. Get Reactor for 33, and submerge it. This guy is going to stay submerged for the rest of the run, pretty much. No, not pretty much. Just the rest of the run. Now we're just going to get this guy straight to a Destroyer, because Pat Destroyer is a very fun combo, although sadly it is a little bit outclassed by Brickle and Destroyers. Get Destroyer for 38, and once you do, set it to first. And now we're going to abuse the fact that you can now place Ice Monkeys on water to completely trivialize this map in every way, shape, and form. It's very funny. So we're just going to get this Ice Monkey as not as top left, as bottom left as possible here. And we're going to start upgrading this guy to an Arctic Wind. On round 40, just use Pat's Roar, and the Moab ceases to exist. Get Arctic Wind, and then Snowstorm so that we can have a very big placement area on the water. I'm not actually going to cross-path the Snowstorm, but if you'd like to get either cross-path on it, go for it. Choice doesn't really matter. But if you're going to do that, wait until after we get the discount village right over here, just as bottom left as possible, and we're going to get this guy to a 202. So if you do want to cross path your snowstorm, just wait until after you get this. And the cross path won't really do anything. We already have a sufficiently large ice platform, and we're not going to be using this guy's ability, like, at all, so, yeah. We're going to go for the first thing that I mentioned, which is the sun avatar. Right over here, just as bottom left as possible. And this guy should be in pat range if you placed everything correctly. And this is going to be a 301 sun avatar, so we're going to get the knockback upgrade for round 50. Knockback is just useful because the Moab slow is very strong, and we don't really need the pierce here. For round 60, get your sun avatar, and this guy should kinda just solo the mid game. But now we're going to go for the Sentry Champion, which is the thing I mentioned right after the sun avatar at the beginning of the video. So just in this little area here, get your NG, and this guy is going to be a 520, so we're going to get the middle cross path. If you want to use some abilities on 63, go for it, but you shouldn't have to. The Sun Avatar is not complete trash. It's only a little trash. It does just enough to be able to win this round. Get Sentry Expert for 64, and now we start our save up. On 75, we are going to use one ability, not entirely required, just because it's fun to do that. Once the bottom BFBs pop, just use a Roar. Pat Sun Avatar is a very strong, very classic combo that will just melt everything for a little bit. For 76, we're going to use a Snowstorm once all of the ceramics are on screen, just to make the round easy. If you don't do this, you can die occasionally, but it's not very often that it'll happen anyway. Two abilities that are completely required are using a Pat Roar on both ceramic waves of 78. And you should be able to afford the Sentry Champion in the middle of round 79, but you don't actually have to buy it until after the round. I just want to buy it mid-round because you'll make it go slightly faster. And now we're just going to buy some support towers because that's what you do once you've afforded your main DPS tier 5. We're going to get an Ice Monkey right over here, just as bottom left as possible. We're going to get the Glue Gunner as top right as possible here. An Alchemist right over here as top right as possible. This guy isn't going to be the path you think. And also another Engineer right over here. And now we're just going to upgrade these top to bottom. This guy is going to be a 410 Embrittlement. I'm pretty sure the money's actually there to get 420, so go for that as well. This guy is going to be a 0-2-4 Relentless Glue set to Strong. We're going to get Primary Training on our Village. 1-3-0 Unstable Concoction on our Alchemist. I bet you thought that guy was going to be an Alch buff. Nuh-uh. Concoction works pretty well here, it's just another source of area damage. Oh yeah, and by doing this we've also concentrated our sentries to one spot, which I think is pretty funny. And you know how I said upgrade them top to bottom? I actually kind of lied a little bit. We're not going to upgrade this MG for now. We're just going to go straight for the Super Brittle instead. We'll get the Engineer after, because it saves a few ability uses, which I think people care about. I think. I'd recommend using a Pat Roar on 93 when the DDTs show up, just to melt those DDTs. Use another one on 94, just for fun, I guess. And for 95, we afford our Super Brittle. And this Engineer is going to be an overclock, so we're going to get Cleansing Foam, and target the foam up here above our Ice Monkey, so that it can decamo some extra DDTs if we need it to. If you want to use a Roar on 95, just go for it. It'll just melt the round, because very fun Pat strategy. Use a Roar on the ZOMGs on 96 just to melt them completely. And get Overclock for 97. Hug the bottom ZOMG just to kill it. This is like one of, I think, 2 times in the entire game when Hug is actually useful, so that's pretty cool. And for 98, we're going to do the very, very fun tactic of overclocking Pat like this. Once things from the bottom start to turn to the right, we're going to use the Roar just to clear everything up. Nothing survives. Overclocking Pat turns him into what H-Bomb described as a pseudo-Bloon Crush, which is fitting. But yeah, gives him very nice stun-up time. Refresh your Overclock on 99, just that DDT's done is crazy. And for round 100, just Roar once your Sun Avatar starts attacking. And the Super Brittle buffed Roared Sun Avatars and Sentry Champion should just murder it. And boom! With that, you should now have your Flooded Valley Chimps Black Border, with the very awesome strategy of Pat, Sun Avatar, Sentry Champion, Super Brittle, Overclocked Pat, and also Pat Destroyer. Pat Destroyer is probably my favorite of these, so yeah. I hope this guide helped you out in some way. Have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye.